Welcome guys to another gaming collection update for the month of April. We got a lot of cool collectibles here. Some of these collectibles are almost as tall as me. Let's check it out.
Gaming tech, eating brekkie is the gaming tech. Going for a recce is the gaming tech. Gaming techie is the gaming tech. Gaming techie.
Alright guys, here we are with another gaming collection update. You can see there's a lot of cool stuff that we have around this today. This is probably my biggest collecting update yet. As far as cool stuff that I got, value of things that I've got, a lot of cool stuff in here. There's actually even more stuff that I'm going to actually have to put pictures of because it's not physically possible for me to bring them over here. So we'll see a couple of pictures, and we're actually going to start out with one of those right now. Just to kick it off, we're going to start off with the Sony 3D TV. You're seeing a picture of this right now setting up how I have it set up. Basically what this thing is, for what you guys, for those of you guys who don't know, Sony came out with a PS3 3D television back in the day, and it's shaped like a Sony Vita kind of model, which is really cool, as you can see in this picture. And obviously, I'm a big 3D fan here with a 3D projector that I have there with movies and stuff like that. And this is a great way to be able to continue to play 3D games in my house because there's not really any way to play 3D games anymore. NVIDIA, who used to do the 3D vision on the computer, they stopped supporting vision profile now on their current drivers. So if I want to keep up to date with the drivers, that's out of the question. So I can't do that with my PC anymore. So basically, this Sony 3D TV gives me, some ability to be able to play some 3D games in my house that I won't be able to play anymore because obviously 3D is going out the window, unfortunately, even with movies now, which is a sad thing to see because I really love 3D when it was done actually correctly. So I added this to the collection. I'm really, really loving this TV. It works great, and I'm having some fun. And since we're talking about 3D games, let's talk about the 4 PS3 games that I actually added to my collection that were, for 3D specific reasons that I got to try. We got Ridge Racer 7. Is actually, now that I think about it, not a 3D game anymore because there was a 3D patch for it, and you can no longer download the 3D patch for it anymore, which is really unfortunate in the US. So, or it never even came out in the US, and it was only in Europe. I'm not really sure, but it's not possible to download. So, that's unfortunate. Let's put that to the side here. The next game that I got, which is 3D for the rest of them, is Crysis 2. This game is really, really solid. Looks really, really good in 3D on the PS3. I'm having a lot of fun with that. Batman Arkham City is outstanding in 3D. I wouldn't even play this game any other way now besides 3D. This game is one of my favorite games to play in 3D. It's one of the standouts in my opinion. And the next one we have here is NBA 2K12. This one's actually not that good in 3D, not because the 3D doesn't pop, but because there's a lot of artifact pop-ups and stuff like that while you're playing and stuff like that. But it's still not bad. It's just definitely not one of the greatest ones out there. So those are the 4 that I added to my collection. I obviously have more PS3 games that I already had for PS3 that I've been testing on there in 3D, which has been a really fun time. Let's look at some of my magazines. Let's move this a little bit out of the way here. Move it a little bit to the side. Let's see some of the magazines that we added here this month. The first one that we added here is Rogue One Star Wars. So, I added the collection here from Rogue One, one of my favorite Star Wars movies. I added, we got 1 and 2 here. We added the full complete series. 1 and 2, 3 and 4, 5, 6, and then a special edition of Cassian and Kay, which was only a 1-issue series. So that is pretty cool. So we added that to the comic book collection here. And then we also added Pokemon, the TV animation comic. It's basically, I believe, the first 6 or 7 episodes of the TV show, basically brought into a comic. So that is really cool. One of the next things that we added here, for one of my favorite, as some of you guys may know, I talked about it in the past, how I'm going through and actually finally watching the Marvel movies and the Marvel series in general, TV series and stuff. And Agent Carter was one of my early favorites. I really like that show. It's too bad it only lasted 2 seasons. And this is basically a Peggy Carter ID identification card from the show. So really cool. Has her name, her active duty, her assignment, and stuff like that in her picture. So that was a really cool ad. One of the next things I added to my collection that obviously isn't here either that we're going to put up a picture for right now is my comic book stand. All these comic books that you're seeing obviously need a rack to sit on. And I use this for my comic books and my magazines. It's actually designed more for magazines because the holes are bigger, but obviously it works perfect for both now. So I have half the comic book here in comic books, and the other half is magazines facing the opposite direction from all 90s magazines that you can no longer read and stuff like that. Some video game magazines, like some cool magazines from Xbox and stuff like that. So I'll be adding more magazines over time. But now you have an idea on where it's being added to when you see me bring up magazines in these future videos. Moving on to one of the next things that we have on our list here is this PS3 Media Remote. This came from, this is obviously in addition to the Sony 3D TV, because there's no remote control that came with that or anything, so you had to buy this one. The one that has the volume rocker is the one that works with this one perfectly and works right out of the box and lets you change input and stuff like that. It's a remote, but it's a nice remote, and I'm glad to have that. Moving along to something else that's unfortunately not in front of me. There's a lot of this time, guys, but at least you get to see some pictures of it. Is my Stranger Things bundle that I got. Now check this out. I'm really having a fun time redesigning all these little. If you guys have seen my game room tour, I have these shelves on both left and right side of the movie room, and I'm designing each box now to actually be able to feature, either my favorite TV show or my favorite 2 movies, or dedicating a whole entire box to a certain theme if that's what I'm looking forward to. I'm not going to spoil what those themes are because you'll have to look forward to, a future game room tour of 2020 when I have these all done, because they're not done. I'm doing a lot of rechanges around here, so look forward to that already. But this is a small preview of what one of the boxes look like, because I got all these Stranger Things in one bundle here. And this is awesome. And you got a t-shirt here from this set. You got a nice little figure here, which looks freaking awesome. You got the Blu-ray collection in here. I even got a signed hat by one of the cast members that's signed there on the top. You got a mug, a lot of cool stuff. And it was really cheap. It was all entirely in a bundle. And it made, this Stranger Things box looks perfect now. This is one of the only box that I have that's actually complete. As far as everything I'm adding to it. So this one looks awesome. Keeping up with items in my room that I can't really show you in person, here is my Zelda shield and sword that I added to the collection here. A really fun time with this, that I added this to the wall behind my retro TV, which looks really good. And right next to it, as you can see now in the other picture as well, is the Zelda poster that I added right next to that as well. Now the retro TV shifted over to the left to make room for the Sony 3D TV. It left me some room to actually add a poster, so it worked perfectly that I already had this poster and never actually put it up, and it was in storage, so I brought this out, and now I have this awesome 25th anniversary Zelda poster along with the Zelda shield and sword hanging up right next to the retro TV. So cool addition to the game room. The next thing we're moving on to is really right in front of me, and that is the Harry Potter sorting hat. This is a really cool piece right here. It even does this. So as you can see here, this hat is really cool because it gives you, it moves its mouth, which is really cool, and electronic obviously tells you, and it goes through all the 4 sorting houses, tells you which one you probably belong to, and gives you an idea why you belong to that house. So this is a really cool Harry Potter piece. It doesn't necessarily fit over a grown man's head. It's supposed to be for kids, but it works perfectly for display purposes. But as you can see, you can put it on your head, but you got to kind of balance it there. It doesn't really completely fit down. But I bought it for display purposes for my Harry Potter area that I'm also doing over there. So that is a really cool addition as well. One of the other things we have here, you guys have seen this in one of my previous videos, which is Disney Villainous, which is an amazing, amazing board game if you're a Disney fan. And they just came out with an expansion, which is why I'm showing it again, because they added an expansion with 3 new characters. So really, really having a fun time with this game, guys. If you guys haven't checked this game out, definitely look into it, because if you're a Disney fan, you basically take villains and you get to fight each other using villain characters. And it's just an awesome, awesome game that hopefully they keep supporting with more and more characters. Hercules is one of the Hercules villain is now in here. The Snow White character is in here now, so with the new expansion. So a lot of cool stuff here, guys. Check this game out if you guys haven't, if you're big board games fans. The next thing that we have here is, as you can see, is we added, I have a little Wreck-It Ralph area underneath the movie room posters, and these 2 figures made the cut this month. These are really cool. They're really giant. I wish it was a little bit smaller, because she's obviously smaller than Wreck-It Ralph. I don't know why they made her the same height. But it's cool because these actually, you can turn them on. Let me show you what Wreck-It Ralph here. If you turn on if you open up the back here, and you switch it to on, I forget how he actually works now.
We're going to the internet! I'm gonna wreck it! No
And he just starts wrecking it on the floor, which is pretty funny. She starts going crazy. So, that's Wreck-It Ralph, and she obviously has her own sayings too. He has 5 sayings. She has like 12, I think. So these are really cool pieces to add to my collection, especially with the movie sound effects. These are obviously from Break the Internet, the recent movie, but these are really cool for Wreck-It Ralph fans as well. Next thing we have here is a pop that we added to the collection. You can see this is from the movie Sandlot. So I added him to the movie room collection, so this is pretty cool. So let's talk about one of these giant figures next to me. As you can see here, this is the Stormtrooper figure, and this is really, really cool, not only because of how huge he is. As you can tell, these are both 4 feet tall. This guy's humongous, but what's really cool about him, he's just a figure. This Ninja Turtle is really cool looking, but he's obviously just a standing figure. He doesn't actually do anything. He does have a backpack that opens up in the back, which is cool for storage. And he does come with these things that you can put around his arms and stuff, but they just kind of sit there, and so do his arms. So there's not anything he actually does or talk, but it's cool. It's a 4 feet figure. They didn't make a whole ton of these different ones back in the day, but this one's really cool, really retro-looking TMT figure. Back to the Star Wars one, though, the Stormtrooper, what's really cool about this one, this is a Jack Pacific figure, really hard to get in really good condition now, and this one's in great condition and fully works. Basically what this does is, if I slide him on this way, there's 2 functions.
Drop the weapons now.
You can slide him on, and all the way to the left is a button that you just hit, and then you can press the button in the front whenever you want to. And he goes through all these sound effects. But what you can also do, which is really cool about these figures, is motion sensor. So if I switch it
Drop the weapons
all the way to the
now.
left, there is a sensor on his belt clip there, so if anybody passes over it,
Put down your weapons.
he speaks. And you can see how sensitive it is. It works really well. Because even just my
Start
arm.
Resistance fighters.
So this is really cool. Really cool figure. I'm actually looking forward to adding one more figure like this into my collection that's going to be next to him. I believe I'm only probably going to add 1 or 2 more max, because obviously you can see my game room tour. I don't have that much room down here. So, anymore, I should say. I have a lot of room, just a lot of things are already taken at spot. So I found the perfect space for him. You'll have to wait to see my game room tour in 2020, what that looks like. And I found a perfect spot for him too. And I have 1 more spot for a size figure of him, and a couple of more spots for smaller figures, which we'll see one here shortly, actually. So look forward to that. One of the other things I added here is the quick little snitch thing, which is pretty cool, from Harry Potter. If you hit the on button on this thing back here, you can see it starts flapping around like a snitch and stuff, which is pretty cool. So that's pretty cool. Just a little prop that looks like a snitch from Harry Potter. So I like that for the collection. One of the other things that looks really cool in the game room here, I'm showing you a picture of it now. That's obviously not possible for me to bring here, is these cardboard cutout Marvel figures. These things look awesome in the game, coming down on the walkway here. And they just really bring some really nice color into here. I was really lucky to find these on eBay. The guy was selling them from a old comic book store on eBay. There's nothing else like these, and these just go awesome and look awesome in down here. I was really satisfied to find these. I couldn't find anything else like these on eBay. So I was really happy to add this. Have a little Marvel sign here with the nice little, and they're made out of cardboard, so they're not bad, and they just work great. These look awesome. One of the other things we added, of course, that's sitting right here. You got the Labo VR Kit edition. I'm almost done finally completing all these. I have 1 more thing to build, but I'm having a lot of fun building that. And one that I haven't started at all, because I got this on sale at the same time I got the VR Kit, is the vehicle one, which I'm looking forward to trying out as well. I really wasn't a big fan of the first edition one, because the piano and stuff looked like it's something you play for 5 minutes and you're never going to touch again, even though it was cool. But these 2 seem to have more meaty gameplay. The vehicle one seems to have a lot of cool stuff you can play with. And the VR one, I can tell you, is already really pretty cool to have as a VR fan, even though it's nowhere near as good as the other headsets. Obviously, it's still a pretty cool thing to show people and how it uses cardboard and stuff. So I'm really having fun going through that stuff. Let's look at these pile of PS1 games they have here. We go through these really quick. I got these all in a bundle, all at an eBay price, all at a garage sale. I got these all for $18, including a PlayStation 1 that I already sold and basically got that money right back. I sold the PS1 for... Actually, I'm selling... Sorry, I almost forgot. I got all these games because I didn't actually have these. And then I have another 10 or 15 games that the PS1 came with, and a couple of PS3 games that I already owned. I'm selling that with the PS2 that it came with. Not a PS1, a PS2 that it came with. I'm sold that for $100 on eBay. So I made $80 out of the deal after the eBay and got to keep all these games. So that was an excellent find on there garage sale finds. So looking through these games, they're not bad. Some of them are good, some of them are alright, some I've never heard of. But Jet Moto 2, Stuart Little 2, Crime Killer, NASCAR Thunder 2002, Need for Speed V Rally, Cool Boaters 2, Nuclear Strike, Madden 2002, Vigilante 8, Command & Conquer Red Alert, Command & Conquer Red Alert Retaliation, Tonka Space Station, Army Men Sarge's Heroes 2, and Tom Clancy's Rainbow Six Lone Wolf. So those are all the PS1 games that I got here, so that was pretty cool. That I found that fine, so I'm happy to add to those to my collection. Something else that I got here as well that I forgot to talk about with the Harry Potter stuff is I got these little cardboard coasters. That's the word I was looking for. Coasters to put your drinks on, but obviously I don't use it for that. I added this to the collection area over there where Harry Potter stuff is going. So these were cool because it represents all the houses. So got those. Last thing we have, one of the last two things I have in front of me right here is this Minecraft book. This is really cool because it comes, I got this at a garage sale for $1, and it comes with Minecraft Construction Handbook, the Redstone Handbook, the Essential Handbook, and the Combat Handbook. So it gives you all the tutorials for Minecraft. So it's a great, great starter kit. I played a little bit of Minecraft, but I never really got the nuisances of it. This will be a really helpful guide for that. So happy to add that to my collection as well. And if we move this figure out of the way, because I don't think you guys can see them from that corner, one of the other figures that I got is a 31-inch figure this time, not a 48 like these other two. But cool nonetheless, is Batman, the Dark Knight Edition. So this is a 31-inch figure. He looks awesome. I wanted to add some DC figures around here. Obviously, we have Star Wars around here. We have TMT. I have areas around the room going around for Marvel stuff already, as you can see a little bit in the pictures before. So I had to add something DC in the room, and this is one of the first things. I'm hoping to add another one next month, so look forward to that in the next video for Gaming Collection Update of May. That is coming, but this is my first one, and this one looks outstanding. I got him for really cheap. I got him for $10 on eBay. This is on bids, and nobody bid on it, and I got this for $10. I was nervous if the guy was even going to ship it out, to be honest, but he looks awesome. Can't beat this for $10 on eBay. But that is everything I got this month, guys. I think you guys can see I got a lot of stuff this month. A lot of cool collectibles, some video games, a little bit of everything basically around here. We got some VR stuff, you know, cool 48-inch figures. And look forward to May because there's already some cool stuff I've already received that I couldn't fit in this video that are on their way because they're not actually physically here yet, that I've gotten from places already. So May's already looking to be a great lineup. And of course, you know what May is, guys. It is VR time. We're going to have the Oculus Rift S come out. We're going to have the Oculus Quest coming out. I'll be getting those day one, giving you guys unboxings, reviews, game reviews, all that kinds of stuff. So make sure you don't miss that video. And subscribe to the channel so you guys can see all those videos coming out here in the next coming weeks. I'm really looking forward to this month for that reason. Guys, if you guys have any questions about anything you saw in today's video, leave it down below. If not, thank you guys for watching. Till next time.
Tech, UrGamingTechie is the gaming tech. UrGamingTechie, gaming tech. Eating brekkie is the gaming